Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling Man in the Moon. So, a bunch of questions today. First one's about Barrett. I think she's just about to get confirmed by the Senate. I'm curious to see what happens. Look, even before I go into this, I have talked to a number of people, including my students, and when I have my students, I make them channel for me a little bit so they have some practice. All of them, and sort of my own intuition, sort of says the same thing. Barrett's going to get in, but something's going to happen. Something is going to remove her. I don't know what it is, but there are a lot of options for ways to remove her. It will be unprecedented, but that's what everybody says. So try not to worry too much about her placement. She might be able to do a lot of damage, but even if she does that in the next couple of months, then we'll have even more reason to take her out, right? So try not to worry about this particular one. Obviously, we need to be concerned, but it looks like Biden's got it in the bag, and that's the really important thing right now. All right, let's see if there's anything more about Barrett. How are they? Let's see. First of all, Spirit, is Biden really going to get rid of her? Yes. He is. And you know what? I see the scales of justice. There's some legal reason to get rid of her, perhaps. Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, it's like there's a big shred between red and blue. It's like a paper, and it's shredding in half. Most of the paper, however, is cutting blue. What does that mean, Spirit? I keep seeing a very frustrated Barrett. So something that he does, something Biden, the Congress do, stops her from doing some things. So is she going to try to get rid of the Affordable Care Act with the others? She's taking a knife and she stabs it into her desk. Yes, she'll do that if she can, but will she succeed? So. Yeah, I mean, she'll make some inroads, some attacks into it. She will think that she has won. So look, you guys, she might get a few steps along the way to get rid of it. Again, don't underestimate this. This might be the best thing that could happen for anybody that's left-leaning, because this will just give us a reason to replace her. She's sneaky looking. Also, I do really get there's something she's done in the past that we don't know about. It involves children. I don't know if it involves her children or others. I know, all those children that went missing from the border, just pray for them for a moment, if you will. There's something very dark and evil about her relationship with children, something awful. I just see them as like a string. There's like a long string between her and the children look frightened. And they're not just children, they're teenagers. She's going to do something. Or maybe Spirit is her past? Did she do something in the past, or is it the future? Well, that is not clear. But here's the scales. So you see the scales of justice? And there's like a 10-pound weight on one side, and ping, the whole thing goes out of whack. So the bottom line really is that she's going to do things which throw justice on its side. And that's just not going to work. It's not going to last very long. I get January, she'll be gone. And really quickly, she'll be gone. Actually, the process might start in January. But in February, I'm looking at the moons here. Let's see, is that one moon? Something like 1.5 moons. It'll take a month and a half maybe for Biden to get rid of her. Maybe it's just a month and a half that she'll be in office. I should say she'll be on the court. Spirit, what else could you tell me about Barrett? Yep, witchcraft, that's what I get for her. And I mean, witches are great, man. I mean, white witches are awesome. I've been helped by such people many, many times. But this is not a white witch. This woman is as shady as you can get. She's just not it's like the Wicked Witch of the West. It's literally that stereotypical of a person. There's nothing redeeming about this woman at all. It's all the shows of Christianity with none of the real substance of it. Is she just going to be removed? legally? Biden's thinking. He's looking at the situation. They've done something wrong in this process. I mean, we all know they've done something really, a lot of things wrong in the process. But one of these things, Biden is just looking at it and he's like, it's obvious. It's obvious the laws that they have broken. It's obvious how we can undo this. It's obvious. It's not going to be some complicated measure that we're all thinking, maybe he'll add these justices. It's not as complicated. It's like a no-brainer for Biden. I don't know what primary rule that they have broken, but I think somehow the Republicans have broken some specific rule which can invalidate this process. And that's just how they're seeing it. And they're not talking about it. They're waiting to see, what's going to happen in the next couple of months before they enact this. They're not going to let anybody know in advance because that would be undermining their ability to get rid of her. Is she going to do terrible stuff before she's got rid of? She's going to try. It's just like a few chips. Chips. Is she going to be able to get rid of the Affordable Care Act? Not. She's going like this. This is kind of like a maybe. It's not her priority. That's what I'm getting. It's not her priority to get rid of the health care bill. She has other priorities. Right? So, it's just, she is such a complicated mess. It's really hard to look at her because there's so much going on around her. There's so many things messed up about her. I don't even know where to start when I look at her. It's like one catastrophe after another. But the bottom line here is I'm trying not to worry too much. She's not going to last. So what's the Supreme Court going to look like? Something's going to happen to the host of Republicans. Because I see a 5 Republican, 4 Democrat majority, right? So the Republicans have 5. But something happens to those 5. At least something happens to 3 of those remaining 5. Is that what I'm seeing, Spirit? Yeah, 3 of the Republicans will be got rid of somehow. I don't know whether they're going to, pass into the next life. I'm not sure. I think one of them is, because I'm seeing a cross. One of them will pass. 2 of them will, how are they going to be got rid of? Again, I think there's going to be some legal challenge to their placement there. And y'all know that Kavanaugh and the other fellow, Kavanaugh and the other guy, I'm sorry, when I channel, it's hard to remember names. Kavanaugh, for example, has done some things that are illegal. So, for example, he looked at stolen documents that were stolen from the Democratic Party, and he's denied it, although there's proof. So something legal is going to happen to get rid of these characters. There's some laws that they have broken. This will be unprecedented, but there's some method, some legal method that Biden will use to get rid of them. Is Biden going to need to add? He might add a couple of people. I almost feel like he might threaten it. This is what Roosevelt did. He threatened to add members to the Supreme Court, and that made the Supreme Court back off a little bit. So I get the feeling that that is a threat. Biden might stand there and say, look, you either get rid of these 2 or I'm adding 2. It's up to you guys. And they might just do it. Rather than have a scandal, they would do it. Okay. So anything else on Barrett? Again, I just see her frustrated. She's like trying to be the master of the universe, and she's just frustrated. And again, I don't see anything redeeming about this person at all. She represents something that we oppose. Essentially, that's why she is there. Like Trump, she's going to kind of be a Trump replacement. She's going to be somebody that we all hate, right? And that motivates us to move forward in our democracy. So what about elections? I really want to know, if it's going to be, first of all, I'm seeing a blue wave, right? So here's red, blues coming over. It's a big blue wave. It's almost like I'm getting like a 38% of the people vote for Trump. The others vote for Biden, right? So it's going to be a significant win. Is this going to avoid violence? Somewhat. It looks like violence will largely be avoided. There will be some threats at the polling stations. Look, if you're going to vote, see if you can get in there and get out of there. Make a plan to go in and get out as quickly as possible. If there's any way that you trust the drop boxes, use those. But don't hang around and afterwards go to work and go home. Do not stay on the streets on election day. There's no reason to take such a risk. In the meantime, be sure, and if you are going there, be prepared to monitor what's happening. Have your phone handy, and if anybody comes to disrupt, you've just filmed them, right? That's going to be important for our society. Call the police if that happens. This will be uncomfortable. There will be a lot of stress around it. There might be a problem. Now I'm getting a problem kind of right in the middle of the country. It involves a fire. I don't think it's a bomb, but it involves some kind of a fire. And it might be just somebody simply, putting a bonfire in front of the polling station, and it looks like the police are coming, putting it out. And now there's going to be a lot of drama around it, but I don't necessarily get, I'll ask again, is it going to be dangerous for people to vote? People will be fearful. And there are some things that certain senators and governors would do, but it looks like they are going to be frustrated too. It looks like the win is large enough so that they're not going to try to pull any games. So that's quite a relief. And what about the Senate? Lindsey Graham is still smiling, but he is looking a little bit more nervous. Is Lindsey going to win? If he wins, it's just going to be just barely a win. I'm not even certain now that's a sure thing. It's pretty dang close. It does look like he is going to win, unfortunately. Again, some of these things may not be bad things. It might be that the Republican wins, and then we find out, who's doing something wrong, and they have to get out. So even a Republican win, don't necessarily think that it's the end of the game. It's not. Everything's going to change. In the next 6 months, everything is going to change. It's going to be very rapid, and it's going to be challenging to watch, but it's also going to be full of, frankly, victories for democracy. They're going to be hard won. You're going to have to push and push and push, but there will be victories. Anybody else of any significance? Collins does not look like she's doing well. She looks like she's going down. Anybody else show up? Funny, Mark Meadows shows up. I don't know why. I don't think he's running for anything. I just get Mark Meadows is in a lot of trouble. And he's Trump's first guy in the White House, but he's not doing well. Like serious trouble. Like not just a scandal, but more than a scandal, like a legal case, like a criminal legal case. Others will face criminal indictments, and not just the people we think. There are others who will face criminal indictments for some of the things they did. The missing kids at the border, that is a crime. Right? It could be manslaughter, it could be kidnapping, you name it. I mean, these are illegal acts. And all of the people who voted for them, and there was a little group of people in the White House who voted to put those kids in the cages, all of them are in serious legal trouble. All right, and on that note, thanks so much for watching.